Hi everybody, welcome to Get Fit. I'm Tam, this is Des, and we will be taking you through a workout where we will be supersetting our exercises today. Today's superset, we will be doing 2 exercises that target completely different muscle groups, back to back with no rest. Our first exercise, we will need a set of dumbbells for and a mat, and we will be doing chest flies. So when we do chest flies, our chest is a fairly strong muscle group. You can go pretty heavy on these, so push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. That's what I like to see, those 12s. We'll start laying down on the mat, contract your abdominals. We'll take those palms, face them towards each other. You want to keep your elbows soft, so try not to lock your elbows up. Keep them soft, and then lower those elbows down to the height of the floor. Using the power through your chest, push that back up, and exhale as you lift. The weight should be heavy enough that by the time you finish, we'll say about 15 reps, 16, 17 should be nearly impossible. If you're finding you can get to 20 plus reps with that weight, I would suggest grabbing a heavier weight. That might be a little bit too light for you. And I know Des quite well, and I know that these 12.5s are probably like air to you, but for education purposes, I'll let it slide. 4 more. 4, 3, 2 more. And last one. So now we'll get up as quick as we can. We'll set it up. We'll take it into a row. So feet hip distance apart. Keep your knees soft, bending forward, hinging from the hips, palms facing towards each other. And we'll pull our elbows up, squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top of that movement. Nice pull. Exhale as you lift. Keep your core contracted. And again, nice big muscle group here. You can go fairly heavy on those weights. And again, this is pretty light for Des, but we'll do 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We'll do 1 more set. Drop quickly to the floor. And just kidding, take a break. So we do want to take a break in between exercises. We're not going to rip through, say, 10 exercises back to back with no rest. Take a break as you need one. But when we're supersetting, it is usually at least 2 exercises back to back with no break. So we'll take a little breather, grab a drink, and then we'll do that set 1 more time. We'll go 10 reps. So 10 reps on those chest flies. And then as soon as you finish number 10, pop it up and do 10 rows. All right, so here we go. I'll count for you. Never trust your trainer to count reps for you.
Never.
3, 4, we'll always make you do more. 5, 6, 7, 8, should be burning up in the chest. Last one, pop it up. And into those rows right away. So sometimes when you do come up off of the floor really quickly like that, you might get a little bit lightheaded. If you do find that happens, just take a little break, ground yourself, and then as soon as you're feeling ready, drop into that set. So we'll do 10 of those, and then we'll take a little break and we'll go into the next exercise. Are you counting? She's counting. See, she's learned. 3, 2, and last one. Perfect. All right, so we'll put those down, grab a drink. I like to make it a goal that my workout, we'll start with a full water bottle, and by the end, it is empty. So in between sets, make sure you're drinking water. Our next exercise will be coming down onto the mat. We will be working our quads and then immediately into our opposing muscle group, our hamstrings. So we will be doing a leg extension And this exercise is actually a little bit harder than it looks. So I'm going to suggest that you grab the light weight, the 7.5, and tuck that weight in between your feet. Lean back onto your elbows so you can prop yourself up onto your elbows. Keep your core contracted. We're going to lift our feet up into the air, hinging from the knees only. So exhale as you lift. You'll feel that in your quads as well as into your abs. Don't forget to breathe. You want to exhale on the lift. It's a hard one, hey? It's a lot harder than it looks. It's one of my favorites. Keep going. We're going to do 10 of these. And then once you get to 10, we'll take our heavy weight, pop it on our hips, and we'll do single leg bridges. For 10, we'll do 10 on one leg. Exhale as you lift, keep your abs contracted. Work those glutes and hamstrings. 3, 4, squeeze your glutes at the top of that movement. We have 4 more, and then we'll switch sides. Last 2, and last 1, and other side. All right, so this side will fatigue a little bit faster than our last side. Take a break when you need one. This is quite challenging, and at any time, if you're finding that the single legs is a little bit too intense, you can drop that down and do double legs. So that's a little bit easier if you're not quite ready for those single leg glute bridges. All right, so once you get to 10, we'll take a little break, and we'll do that one more time quickly. Now that we've learned how to do it, we'll rip through it. So take as long of a break as you need, grab your water, psych yourself up, 10 quick ones. And for the bridges, you can just do double legs. You don't have to do the single leg. So if you are pressed for time, just load up on that heavier weight on your hips and do the single legs. So here we go for 10. We have 8 more. 7, looks good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Into that bridge. Oh, you gotta wait there, but maybe you can use both of them. For 10. 1. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Push through your heels. 3, 4, keep your head and shoulders on the ground. 5, we have 5 more. 5, 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. All right, glutes and hamstrings, fired up. Looks good. So we're gonna switch it up now into some upper body. You have 2 options for this next exercise. You can do this one seated on the floor, which isolates your shoulders a little bit more, makes it a little bit harder. Or you can stand it up. We'll do an overhead press with dumbbells, and we will superset that with a set of swimmers on the ground. So for the swimmers, you're not going to need any weight. We'll time that one for 30 seconds. An overhead press. We want to set it up with our feet hip distance apart, palms facing forward. We'll keep our elbows up in line with our shoulders. Bring your elbows forward slightly, and then we'll take that all the way up over our head and back down to our starting position. Exhale as you lift. Keep your core contracted and make your mind muscle connection to your shoulders. Feels good, nice and strong. For a total of 10. The last few should be a struggle. And once you finish your last one, we'll drop that right down onto the ground. So make your body as long as you possibly can. contract your core, point your toes to one wall, reach your hands up and over your head to the other wall. And yeah, you can lift both arms and both legs at the same time, or you can alternate. You can do one arm, one leg, just play around with that. Any variation of swimmer will work, and we're going to do this for 30 seconds. So Des, you have about 15 seconds left. Both arms, both legs, that's a little bit harder, where you can hold that at the top and tap the alternating arms and legs from here, holding that position. 10 more seconds.
Desiree won't do that.
It takes a minute to think about it. And a last one. Shake that out. All right, you feel that in your back? Good. All right, so let's do our next set of overhead press from a seated position. So we'll have ourselves seated on the mat, either cross-legged or however you feel comfortable. You can have your feet hip distance apart, legs nice and long. You have a variety of weights to choose from there. So this will, yeah, you're strong. Go for the 12s.
I can overhead press 100 pounds.
Des can overhead press 100 pounds. I cannot. Good job. And 100 reps right here. 2.
Not happening.
3. Exhale as you lift, looks good. This is a lot more work here through the core, a little bit more isolation through the shoulders. I prefer the seated press these days. I like to switch it up. Sometimes I'll stand, sometimes I'll sit it down. A little variety is good. Makes the workouts a little more spicy. 4.
It's 12.
3. 2, and 15. Back into those swimmers. All right, 30 seconds. I'll actually watch the clock this time. 30 seconds starting now. Looks good. Make sure we're breathing through that. Should feel that in your upper back, lower back, mid back. It's good for your whole back as well as your core. A little bit of chest, glutes, hamstrings. Nice full body. We have 10 more seconds. It's good. Keep it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Nice job. All right, we'll pop that up, catch your breath. We'll take a little drink. And after the break, we'll come back with some more superset exercises for you.
Welcome back to Get Fit, everyone. We have another round of supersets coming your way. We're gonna start off with a little arm day fun. So we're gonna work your triceps and your biceps a little bit. So we're gonna start off with what is called a hammer curl. So the difference between a regular bicep curl and a hammer curl is you're gonna have your palms facing each other on this variation. If we wanted to do a regular bicep curl, we'd have our palms facing up, but we're gonna keep them facing together. And then we're gonna pair that with a bent over tricep kickback. Now, when you do that bent over position, you just want a slight little hip hinge, letting your head hang down, and then kicking that weight back and trying to get that full extension in your elbow. So let's start with 15 hammer curls. Let's get those biceps pumped up. So we're gonna curl those all the way up to our chest and extend all the way down to our thighs. Should probably count this one because you'll be doing more.
7.
Get that juicy arm pump going on.
9.
A couple veins popping out.
10. 11.
And you can see Tam isn't violently swinging that.
13.
Nice and controlled.
14.
15. Now we're gonna come into that bent over tricep kickback. So full extension. Trying to get that elbow locked out, and same thing, we're gonna go 15. Curling it almost up to your chest, kicking it back. I don't know about you, but I love some defined triceps.
10.
5 more. Let's try to control that weight.
13,
14. Last one.
15.
All right, shake that out.
Whew.
Give it a little bit of a rest. Let your arm pump fade a little bit. This is where you can look at yourself in the mirror and see those arms a little bit more defined.
Feeling good
than they
about my
might.
arms these days.
I know, right?
Feeling good.
It's like one of my favorite parts of my body. Everybody loves nice toned arms.
Yeah.
All right, you think you're ready to go back into set number 2?
I think
You want to
so.
up the weight, down the
Well,
weight?
I was thinking about it, but yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Of course we want to up the weight. So a lot of the times too, TAM is pretty equally balanced, but a lot of the times one, like your tricep or your bicep's gonna be a little bit weaker than the other. So you might wanna play around with the weights. So say maybe your biceps are a little bit stronger, you could go heavier on that and then immediately drop the weight a little bit, go into those tricep extensions, or maybe vice versa.
I may have to do that, we'll see.
So let's try for 15. We're gonna be nice and controlled, not swinging the weights up, keeping that core nice and tight. Think, suck your belly button right into your back. And even keep those glutes engaged. Nice, strong body.
7,
Perfect.
8, 9,
Keeping those shoulders down.
10,
Perfect.
11,
Full arm extension, not trying to cheat it.
13.
Last 2.
All right.
15.
This is where it gets interesting because I'm fatigued now.
Now we're going into those tricep kickbacks. Let's see what she can do. And same thing, we want to keep that core tight. Keep that weight right over your toes and just kick that weight up and back. Try to get it fully extended. You want to try not to have a rounded back. Tam's doing a really good job right now of keeping a nice flat
5
back.
more.
And just letting her head
4.
hang down.
3, 2, 1.
Perfect.
Nice.
And a thing you want to really watch on those tricep kickbacks is that you're not cranking your head up as you're doing it and then engaging some of your neck muscles. As you could see when Tam was doing it, she was keeping her gaze right down at the floor, disengaging all of those neck muscles and just making the triceps work. All right, let's move on to our next superset. We're gonna do some calf raises first off, and then we are gonna do some reverse flies. Fun one.
Yep.
So for those calf raises, there's a couple ways you can hold the weights. You can either hold them in a front rack position, kind of up on your shoulders, or you can just hold them by your sides here. And all we're gonna do is rise up and lower, and just keeping that core super tight, glutes engaged, rising up for 12. You really got to find that stability, keep that weight right over your toes as you come up. Let's do 3 more. Last one.
That's 15.
Oh, look at you go. And now we're gonna come over into a bent over position and do a reverse fly.
I may need to drop my weight on this one.
Reverse flies can be pretty challenging. It's a very small muscle group that we're targeting.
I'll try with the lighter weights and then next set I'll go up.
So just like those tricep kickbacks, we want to come into a nice bent over position. Let that head hang to the floor, eyes right staring down in front of you. And then we're just gonna raise those weights up to the side, keeping those palms down to the floor. And you can see she has a little bit of a bend in her elbow, but not too much. So you want to keep those elbows soft, not lock out those arms and not have them super bent. So we're kind of like a 90-degree bend, just nice and soft for 15. And pulling those shoulder blades together. 3, 2, 1.
Nice counting.
Was I on?
You're right on.
Nice. I just guessed.
I was making sure.
You can shake that out. We're gonna do that superset one more time.
All right. Yeah. Calf raises. Let's go.
Back to those calf raises. So core tight, glutes tucked. And one thing we want to watch here when we do this is we're not sticking our butt out as we come down. We want to keep everything right in a straight line. And you might find that having the weights up here helps you balance a little bit better, or you might find hanging them down here is a little bit nicer. For those 15 reps, trying to get as high as you can.
And 15.
And then we're going straight into that reverse fly.
Right into them as fast as we can.
And because it's the second set, make sure we don't hunch that upper back. We keep a nice flat back, pulling those shoulder blades together. Nice tight core, engage those abs. Nice soft knees, a little bit of a knee bend, keeping that hip hinge.
Heavier on the set. And I did
it's okay. What do you got? 4 more?
3, 2, and
1.
Ooh, I like that superset. It's a spicy one.
That was a good one. And we got one more for everybody out there. So we're gonna do a little bit of abs and a little bit of shoulders. So let's start with the shoulders. We're gonna keep it in a standing position, and we're gonna do what's called a shrug. So a shrug is just like, you know, when you wanna tell someone, I don't know, you're just lifting your shoulders up. So you don't want the weights to come up with you. You don't wanna let your elbows bend or anything. It's all in your shoulders. And you actually wanna think of pulling them up and back as you do it. Let's do 10
You know
of
what
these.
happens to me when I do these? My head goes like,
Just like really engage your neck.
does yours do that? Like,
I don't do these.
you're really
I'll be
pushing it,
perfectly
I
honest.
guess, if that happens.
I don't do them very often. Let's do 3 more.
3, 2, just kidding. 1.
It's a bit of a funny exercise.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna take it down to the mat and do what is called a roll up. So Tam's gonna extend her legs out fully. Come reach your hands up above her head, and like the name says, roll it up and try to touch her toes. So when you do this roll up, try to think about each vertebrae coming off the ground in succession, kind of like dominoes. So you wanna just feel it, every single one. You wanna try not to keep that back straight. You wanna curl it up. We're gonna do this for 10. You've probably already done 5. This one just starts to get tough pretty quick. Really focuses on your abs, and it takes your hip flexors out of the equation, so your abs are forced to do the work. Let's go, last 2. And last 1. Beautiful. This one you might not need too much rest in between. It's not like a super taxing one. Not getting your heart rate up a ton. So we're gonna go right back into those shrugs for 12. Pulling those shoulders up and back. You're gonna feel like you wanna move more, but it's such a small little movement. I was gonna say, you're thinking about it now.
I'm like,
Just making it worse.
I'm gonna watch and see if other people do that when they do shrugs.
All right, and last time we're gonna come into those roll-ups to finish it off for 10. Reach all the way back and sit it up. Good job. We got 5 more. These abs are burning now.
Oh yeah.
Trying to keep those feet on the floor. Almost there.
Sometimes in my group fitness classes, when we do this exercise, if you're new, it looks like this.
Yeah. It's a bit of a struggle.
That's okay.
It's definitely
It's
something
still
to
hard.
work on. You still got 2 more to do.
2 more. Oh. There we go.
Amazing. So we can stand it up, shake it out. That is a wrap on our full body superset workout. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Get Fit, and we'll catch you next time.